The chains that bind defining colonialism and neo-colonialism. Colonialism, a history of exploitation and oppression that reshaped entire continents. European powers carved up Africa, imposing their rule, languages and cultures, often with brutal force. But colonialism didn't end with the departure of governors and the lowering of flags. It morphed into neo-colonialism, a more insidious form that is harder to detect. Neo-colonialism operates through economic control, political manipulation and cultural dominance, maintaining a grip on former colonies. It keeps former colonies dependent, exploiting their resources and labor, ensuring they remain subservient. Understanding this evolution from colonialism to neo-colonialism is crucial to breaking free from these invisible chains that still bind many nations today. Scars of exploitation, colonialism's enduring impact on Africa. The history of colonialism in Africa is a tale of exploitation and control. The legacy of colonialism is etched deep into Africa's landscape, visible in the very contours of its land and the structure of its societies. Vibrant cultures were undermined, traditions dismissed, and languages suppressed. The rich tapestry of African heritage was systematically unraveled. Colonial powers exploited Africa's resources, creating artificial borders. These borders were drawn with little regard for the existing ethnic and cultural landscapes. These borders ignored ethnic and cultural boundaries, sowing seeds of future conflicts. The arbitrary lines drawn on maps have led to decades of strife and division. Education became a tool of control, alienating Africans from their heritage. Colonial education systems often prioritized European history and values over African traditions. Centuries of resource extraction left Africa impoverished. The wealth of the continent was siphoned off, leaving behind a legacy of poverty and underdevelopment. The continent's wealth fueled Europe's industrial revolutions, leaving a legacy of underdevelopment. Africa's resources built empires, but the benefits were rarely seen by its own people. The economic wounds inflicted by colonialism run deep. The disparities created during colonial times continue to affect the continent, hindering its progress and development. The face of neocolonialism, from debt traps to puppet leaders. Neocolonialism often disguises itself as aid or development assistance. Debt traps burden African nations, diverting resources from essential services. This economic dependence allows former colonial powers to dictate policies. They control markets, manipulate trade agreements, and exploit resources. Political interference is another hallmark, propping up puppet leaders. This meddling undermines democratic processes and fosters instability. It perpetuates a cycle of exploitation and conflict. Echoes of injustice, colonial borders, and the seeds of conflict. Artificial borders drawn by colonial powers cast a long shadow. These lines on a map sow division and conflict. Competition for resources and power fuels ethnic clashes and instability. External actors often intervene, furthering their own interests. Addressing these issues requires acknowledging the root causes of conflict and underdevelopment. Reclaiming the narrative, truth, justice, and the path to healing. The first step towards dismantling neo-colonial structures is acknowledging the past. We must confront the realities of colonialism and its enduring impact. Education plays a vital role in this process. Decolonizing curricula and incorporating African perspectives is crucial. Understanding the past helps address present-day inequalities. This understanding fosters a sense of shared responsibility and action. A call to action, the Gambia grassroots movement. This is a movement that transcends borders and unites people from all walks of life. Decolonization is an active struggle, requiring collective effort. It is a fight that demands the participation of everyone who believes in justice and equality. We must challenge systems that perpetuate neo-colonialism. These systems continue to exploit and oppress, and dismantling them is crucial for true liberation. Stand in solidarity with African nations for economic emancipation. Economic freedom is a cornerstone of true independence and self-determination. Support fair trade, advocate for debt cancellation, and end resource exploitation. These actions are essential to create a fair and just global economy. Amplify African voices and perspectives. Listen to the leaders and communities who have been directly impacted by colonialism. Move beyond charity to a model based on partnership and mutual benefit. True development comes from collaboration and respect. Let us work towards a world where Africa is free to realize its full potential. Together we can build a future where every nation thrives. Join the Gambia grassroots movement. Together we can regain our glorious days of African unity.